So I love the way the Sentinels are playing split. I think I don't have too many comments for what they're doing on this map. I think sometimes we're seeing them overheat a little bit when they retake B or attack B. It looks like they're not as disciplined with how they get into those areas through B Heaven towards site. But generally speaking, they're looking pretty good. All right, we've got a fight over towards ramps. And really nicely done by Sentinels. 3 players all grouped up there. Fantastic discipline by Sentinels, keeping 3 players all posted, punishing PRX over and over again for peeking in. That's lovely. A force up by PRX in this round, despite the fact that they barely killed anyone. So this is a bit of a rough... I mean, they got the plant, but they don't have the bonus money for getting kills. I think it's quite difficult as well, if we're just talking about the way that these compositions interact with each other. I think it's quite difficult for PRX to do their double duelist dive into John. There's tons of different Cypher setups that are going to be really good for him to deal with the Jet and the Rays. And there's plenty of opportunities for them to get vulnerable as well if they go into Zelsis over towards A, for example. Sassy is really pushed here. Did they know that they were on the force buy at this point? Because that's a really bold thing to go for when your opponents are force bought and all playing around mid. A good cage from John makes it feel like he's in the cage, but something still swings. If I had watched this live, first round I would have been popping off about how disciplined Sentinels were. Second round I would have been like, wow, Sassy really over pushing there. Wow, PRX really deathballing them. The sheer aggression just overwhelming them on round 2. But setting up for a really fun finals overall. Alright, probably want to skip this round, except for the fact that PRX are walking straight into this stack for Sentinels. And they have decided to cancel once they realize that it's a full stack. And they've got Devi taking a lot of space for them. Devi's just going to have to back up. I'm going to skip 10 seconds to when the action happens. Monyet takes a lot of damage. Tenz has been gifted a Phantom. I don't really know why Jing wants to make that play. I think the priority at the moment is trying to support Monyet to get into the site, isn't it? Does playing in Heaven really accomplish that for Jing? Don't know. I don't know what he was going for. But Monyet is now in this position. It looks like Sentinels round to win. Very chaotic beginning to this map. First round was fantastic by Sentinels, but then since then it's just been, does PRX succeed by running at you, or do you manage to hold them off by like gamble stacking, which is what they did in this round. Sentinels seem to be putting a priority on grouping up though, knowing that they're going to play against an opponent that plays very heavily grouped. Tenz getting caught by that. That is not just a PRX play there. Going that quickly up ramp is something that a lot of teams are going to do. And if Tenz wants to play aggressive over towards ramp like that, and he's not a Jet that can try to dash away, he's got to be cautious. Something is still prodding over towards A here. Jing just looked like he didn't have a clue that that was a possibility. Spike is now dropped. They do recover the spike though as Sentinels back up. They're worried about some kind of lurk in mid here. If they commit to ramp forever, then PRX are inevitably going to get someone up mid and backstab them. Sentinels, though, are adapting and using a lot of utility early on in these rounds, which I say is an adaptation because I don't think they normally play with this much util early on. But the way that PRX plays, they really force you to. And one of the ways that PRX can get an advantage is that they condition you to use all of this utility early in the round, and then they'll sometimes throw in like a bit of a fake aggressive round, and then you splurge out all your util, and they get into a really good advantage for the late round. In this situation, though, they really need Devi to get here quickly, and he's miles away. These guys have just got to live. Oh my god, that's massive for something. And that's such a fantastic reposition, just to continue to delay time. Look how much time they've delayed for Devi. Devi's just quiet walked all the way. He knows that they're not on it. Another tap. Oh, Device should have been able to win that. 5 HP on Sassy. Kills the final 2 players. God damn. What a round for Sassy. So now Paper X have taken mid control and inserted Forsaken. Sassy's playing super aggro here. This is wild. This is wild. Tens needs to help with the paranoia here. Oh, the stun though. I think Sassy maybe could have tried to just tuck there and wait for Tens. That cage makes the threat like they could be trying to get into the site. Good fragging by Forsaken. And they've got something on a lurk. And Paper X just set up so many different win conditions, even if one of them overheats. they've still got like something crazy happening somewhere else. Planted for Heaven, but also planted for, you know, Hell, main. Good plant spot. Monyet has a pull. Oh, Forsaken's just swinging. But Devi does... they've used that instead of a pull. They've used this smoke instead of a pull, haven't they? Oh no, they still have a pull on the spike. Hello? 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 I just don't understand. Monyet has a star on the spike. He has a pull. Why isn't he just pulling?
Here to block, and John Cutie is just holding this one. They don't even realize it. Since to try to hunt him down as Tens goes for the reposition now, creeping his way through Ramen in towards.
All right, Tens has been spotted deep in market. So now Paper X has to do something about that. Oh my god. I feel like Sentinels are quite a good team to go up against Paper X because if things get scrappy and chaotic, they quite like that. In all of the chaos, Sentinels are a really skilled team that can kind of hang in these weird moments. What they don't tend to have is the really good micro coordination between their players. But Paper X look a little more sloppy with that in this tournament.
Invested over at B Garage, however. Sentinels want to lock that position off as Devi has been spotted. And oh boy, he is screwed. The spray through, that's the lurk. Take it away. Oh, the dash in.
Not enough respect for Devi. These rounds, so many mistakes for Paper X. But also, good work by Sentinels to force these mistakes out. Because, for example, like the way that Devi is playing aggressively on the lurk, unless you put pressure on him, he's not going to make that mistake. Tens got 2 of them as they were getting through. He skewered them through the smoke. Bye-bye, Forsaken. Nice clear again. Like, good punish on all of these things by Sentinels. I think Paper X are one of those teams that really test whether or not you've got the details right. Because if you fuck up some of the details and... The ways in which, for example, the ways in which you stop someone taking mid are only good if they respect it. Paper X are almost always going to disrespect your utility, which means that if your utility is actually not that good, it just looks alright, you're going to have a lot of troubles against this team. And I think this is just showing you that Sentinels have really built out their game to the point where Paper X can't afford to disrespect these things. They are going to get caught on A-ramp lurks. They are going to get caught trying to just run through mid without pushing back the defenders. But really, we're not seeing Paper X do anything amazing here. They're just trying to muscle their way into areas of the map, and Sentinels are throwing counter utility, and Paper X are dying to it. It's not special, but it's just very thorough from Sentinels, which is good. I like that dog pathing. That's really good. It looks like the dog's going to go over towards vents and then it springs back out to catch somebody that would have been holding A heaven. And you might be able to, if you catch somebody, get a pick off the back of that. Dog re-clearing over towards A, seeing if anybody's still there. The dog doesn't see anything, so now they might be anticipating them coming into second. Second, really nice decision making to decide to use the blast pack instead of the nade. And Zelsis swings and manages to pick up 2. Very good defensive setup. And rushed by Paper X. but punished for being rushed because of how good Sentinel's defensive setup is. Lovely coordination there. Zekken with the perfect decision-making, backs up. Zelsys fills in the gap. And they're also focused on Zekken, that Zelsys gets the kill. Okay. Monyet kills Zekken while he's jumping into his face with a shorty, but I don't think Monyet's going to be able to win the 1v5. I think PRX will get better, and this game will get way more difficult later on in the year. But I don't think Sentinels are winning games like this because their players are popping off. I think they're winning games like this because they actually have good setups and good understanding of, you know, how their teammates are going to do something and how they can support that. And so that's unlikely to get worse for Sentinels. It's probably just going to continue to build. So I don't think this is some like flukishly good performance from them. I think this is just them getting rewarded for treating the offseason really seriously as an improvement period. Finesse said that as well. Yeah, I think it's true. Now I did say that just as Zelsys was tucked into a ramp without anyone to play off, and Zelsys is Zekken's a little further back. But you know, we'll give them the 9-3, I suppose. It would be unfair if they didn't have a chance to get the comeback. Finesse also said this Sentinels is top 3 in the world. Nah, I don't. When we don't know what the hell other teams are going to be playing like, I mean, top 3 in the off-season, sure, but when we haven't seen Loud play and NRG look that good, and you're expecting Fnatic, sorry, not NRG, Leviathan look that good, and you have, like, if there was a tournament happening right now, yeah, maybe. But also, I think people are forgetting from this finals that Sentinels didn't have to play Haven and Ascent. Or Lotus. They do actually have 3 maps that they look bad on. It's pretty difficult to be top 3 in the world with 3 maps that you look bad on. To be fair, Finesse acknowledged that was just based on what other teams have shown so far, and that other teams could look better in the regular season. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an impossible claim to actually be, you know, true, because we just haven't seen enough from other teams. But I can see where he's coming from, because they do look really impressive on the maps that they're playing at the moment. I'm interested to see their breeze. Whoa, Zekken's in. There's no way Zekken wins that. And then Jing just runs out. 1v5, Jing just runs out. I hope PRX spend some serious time before the season getting good with their 5-person roster. I'm finding it a little difficult to take what they're doing that seriously in this map. Oh, the trip. 1v1. What a lovely underhand nade. Oh, and great movement. Oh my god, Zekken's so fucking good. Is Monyet trying to line up the orb? Yeah, he is, but Zekken's still got the showstopper online. Nades to try and push somebody back. Isolate the player that's anchoring on site. Nobody anchoring on site. So now there's a fight over towards ramp. Look towards Jing fighting Zelsys. Oh, Zelsys not ready to fight John Cutie because they're also worried about somebody flanking on the big flank, which is accurate. Good follow-up on the paranoia. Tens gets caught, though, in the middle of his ult. Where's he going, man? Where's he fucking going? Where is this maniac off to? Where's his little ping? Oh, he's trying to reposition into back A main. The problem is they don't know whether this is clear. John Cutie was going to try to clear this area that Devi was going to. You can see it on the minimap here. It's this little red X is where Tens was trying to get to. John was trying to go backwards to cover this, but PRX just love flanking. They're so aggressive in the mid round, and they're so willing to take risks that they end up flanking you on retakes and rolling you like this when you're like, holy fuck, how's he there that quickly? Yeah, they just weren't ready early enough, basically. Here comes Jing. Fucking hell. He's done this on an anti-eco, by the way. Let me kill the players with pistols by using my rocket launcher. John Cutie gets a pick on Divide just by spamming, I think.
Now going to be noted. Still the push coming through Tens.
Huge Cypher ult to give Tens all of this space. That's so bold from something. Oh, he's running, he's sliding. What the fuck?
A couple of frames. Enough time for them to swing over, but something with the opener. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say.
Tens Omen is getting caught out a little bit. Mid to B. Divide misses.
A little bit of damage down on Zelsis. Money at now. Stranded on the site. Jing trying to peel, trying to pull some attention.
Forsaken just walks through his team's own nade, facing onto 1,000 angles to try to help Monyet.
Monyet continuing to just play this out as quietly as he possibly can. Shot just over the head of John Cutie. Spike now to be dropped in second.
God, Zekin's so good. So many more mistakes happening there from PRX because of the way that they were trying to play. And they won a couple of rounds by playing in that kind of manner. But for the majority of it, Sentinels were playing really nice and disciplined and had extremely good defensive setups. And then they just kind of managed to grind it out on the attack side. It's not like that map really demonstrated anything amazing for Sentinels. But what it did demonstrate was that all the pieces work, even when you pressure them really heavily. Their defensive setups looked really tight. The coordination was good. Their ideas worked, even when PRX were kind of trying to disrespect them. So it's not like Sentinels brought anything massively new to the table to win that dominantly on split. It's just that PRX really stress tested it, and Sentinels' ideas held up. On this map, we've got to see Sentinels' defense play out a lot better than it did last time. PRX won on this map previously. God, wait, I've got to go back and take another look at that. They stun Devi from A, and they have a Haunt that flies in there at the same time as the Dizzy. And they just run at them, crushing them in market. Definitely not respecting PRX. Okay, so Sentinels stacking 4 players on A for this first round of their defense. They threw the one way, even though PRX were already in front of it. Wow, what a cool flash. PRX trying to get into A, forcing out a lot of the defensive utility. Now throw nade, Boombot. Boombot gets broken early. Do they cancel, or do they just walk in anyway? They just walk in anyway. Zelsis does die, and PRX are still trying to muscle their way through. Again, right, we just watched an entire map of PRX stress testing Sentinels' defensive setups. PRX have found a 4-player stack on A, and they're still trying to go through it instead of around it. It's like that children's book, we're going on a bear hunt. Oh no, we found a 4-player stack. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We can't go around it. We've got to go through it. Did anyone else have a goated childhood reading that book? It's so good. So Zekin's trying to play aggressive over towards B main, and that opens up market. Zekin gets overwhelmed as Zekin also dies. Sorry, Zelsis gets overwhelmed as Zekin also dies. Bloody hell, having 2 Z names on the same team is messing me up. And then they try to flood into backside, but the Boombot kills 2 of them. And even if the Boombot hadn't killed them, Mindfreak was about to. That's where the aggression from PRX really finds a hole, right? So I was talking about stress testing the defensive setup. The part that's missing here is this market presence. So Sentinel's idea on the defense is that they're going to try and fight B main, and they will still have time to go back and deal with market after they've pushed the B main players back. But PRX are so fast that they find the hole in market before Zelsis is able to plug it. So this is what I mean about, like, PRX stress testing their defensive setups. Against a really quick team like that, they don't have a good defense over market at the beginning of the round. He hit that. 5 health. But the teleport doesn't actually take him far enough away.
position already. HL is, we'll see the wingman get the plant of the spike. Rolling Thunder and the Nightfall.
We're using the Rolling Thunder and the Nightfall at the same time. That's got to be a bit of miscommunication, right?
Thrash not going to find much.
They could have used one to take site and one to put pressure B main.
Spotting nothing. Saucy catching Jing. Was the K down a bit by the seas. Turn to the flash. Something swinging forward. Does find Celsius. Looks for another. Is able to find John Cutie. And now the cleanup comes in.
Sen just ran out of utility once they got to the site.
For trouble with that little extra piece of utility that the Gecko can use to gain that space to get those.
I mean, Sentinels B players have just gone into spawn.
Everybody on Sentinels is
Completely into spawn.
yeah, they're expecting a push.
They're so worried about the mid push. PRX have just been given B completely for free.
Straight up B main push.
God damn.
Cutie will tell them everything that they need to know. That will now be taken out. So we cut up positions. PRX does take here in the putting in a disconnected position. Pop flash. The Dizzy going. No one.
The time is going to be Sentinel's biggest enemy here.
Getting tagged low. Sends out the paint shield with the eye on the lurk. Comes around. Managing to find himself a third.
I don't think these B retakes look very good from Sentinels. I think that they seem to just be getting stuck here on B, and they don't have a good system for clearing out market and then putting pressure B main. I've definitely seen teams approaching the B retakes a lot better than this. You've got just one player without utility challenging market, and then Tens throws a Paranoia afterwards to try and see if he can trade him. And they're getting stuck. They're playing really slow retakes as well. I mean, in this situation, they were completely playing off-site as the hit came through. And they need to be practicing playing set retakes a lot if they're going to be playing both initiators on A. Because then they're just not going to be in a position to flood defend very often because they're so committed to A. They're often playing 3 players with both initiators on A. So if that's going to be the case, you can't flood defend very often. Good punish there. Just waiting for the reclear from both of those players. Good call by PRX. Can they punish Celsius? Are Tens and John Cutie going to be able to help? To some degree. But Devi's got a bit of a lurk, and so they're going to go back to Devi. Tens ults. Now this seems like a good time to go for this ult. Something has a wingman. But where the hell's he gone? He could be B main, he could be... Oh my god, what a timing for him to go for that peak. The intuition there is outrageous. That's a nice little jump peek. Winnable still. He knows where John is.
We get the Cypher battle.
Oof. John doesn't lose those. So now they've got a retake. This time they're pathing through mid to reclear market, which seems like good pathing to me. The Paranoia as well clears out some of market. Zekken uses ult, and now they're trying to get through onto the site. But they're going to get caught by the... They don't have Boba control now. Now they've put too many players in market. They've put 4 players in fucking market instead of at least having 2 over towards Boba. So now they still can't really get onto the site very easily, and they've taken a while doing it, so Devi's on the lurk. They might still win this. Ah, but Devi's got one of them. Yeah, I like that idea better, but they just lost every round where PRX got a post plant on B. So that's another instance of it not being an amazing defense side on Sunset for Sentinels. The thing that really fucked Sentinels the last time they played against PRX was that PRX was stopping them from going for AXX. They were just dumping utility on defense into this area of the map to stop Sentinels from getting that for free. And then Sen didn't have the utility to go for an exec on A. On the pistol round, they're playing 5 in mid. But with the door closed, they don't really have an opportunity to put pressure market. Now that they do, Jin goes for a peek. Why is Devi going for another peek here without any help from top mid? He gets away with it. Zelsa's keeping all of his breach utility, though, could make the difference. They might still be able to win this. Wow, that stun is lovely. That's like they have wall hacks, man. They just completely crush Jing and Forsaken. 10 seconds. Wow, and Sentinels still win. Look at this stun lineup for Zelsis. Zelsis's breach has improved a lot. I think Zelsis is playing breach on this map better than Tens was, actually. And I thought Tens was playing pretty well on this map. He's saving his utility really nicely. All of the fault lines and all the flashes are getting huge value. Especially the fault line lineups that he's got.
Doesn't go the way that they were hoping for there, but 10 still able to find Jing, so trade out on the raises across the map. Something as well, still at 11 HP. An advantage in that sense.
What is this lurk play? The breach lurk into market is wild. Tens gets up on Mind Freak as well. Very different bonus round idea for Sentinels in this round. And goddamn, that little setup. The entire round was just Sentinels approaching from unexpected areas. PRX lost control and information over towards A, so Tens got a pick. Then Zelsis went on a really unexpected lurk into market. What is Tens up to inside this smoke? Why is he in this smoke? What's he ever doing from here? Sometimes Tens just be doing things. Almost getting caught there by the trap play. And now Sentinels realize that there's so many players over towards A, they're going to go for the B hit. Divide dodges it. Oh, almost able to get two, but the follow-up from Forsaken does actually manage to get the second. Alright, 4v3 retake. How does PRX play this? They used a lot of their utility early on going for that A trap. So they have like Mosh, Boombot, a smoke. Nothing amazing to work with. How did the breach flash not get him? He turned it. This is what I'm talking about. The pros are fucking inhuman at turning the flashes.
Something falls. John Cutie, however, 25 HP, still stands his ground. Forsaken with 5 health. Puts this much more pressure on Mind Freak. Swing coming in. The headshot is good. They have to get onto the spike.
Sassy in the 1v2. Forsaken very weak.
Planted in the back. The tap, the spray.
Oh, that was close. We saw those bullets whiz past his face. He doesn't have time. Oh, he does. He's just have time, right? He's got like 0.2. 0.45. Sentinels now have enormous ultimates to work with. Contacting, trying to give as few cues to PRX as possible.
Spotting much of anything there is Tens. Approach through mid, will get spotted. Forsaken able to take him out. And without their Omen and Zekin again just getting.
I like the flood defending from PRX, and the fact that PRX also managed to kill the player in mid. Yeah, that's devastating. If Sen had not been able to win a couple of eco rounds earlier on, they would be in a lot of trouble right now. Don't correct me. Any trade by Jing? Ooh, Zekin knows he's here. Okay, Jing still gets the kill. Ah, the flash in Devi's face. They're still flood defending. And they've killed Sassy. This is what I'm talking about. PRX look really good in terms of their B defense. And then on A, they're just utility dumping. They're getting the information much earlier than Sentinels that it's a B hit. And they're able to actually rotate people over to flood defend. And they're not afraid of flooding with only the Omen and the Cypher, which Sentinels normally like to wait for the initiators to come before they get into backside. But in this round, nice lurk by John Cutie after putting the pressure over towards B, so now we get to see PRX's A retake. I don't really know what this ult does particularly. I guess it stops Zelsis from using his stun. I guess they aren't keeping track of all the breach utility as well, but it's not like it's a really heavy post-plant composition where you have to deny the post-plant util from being used. Forsaken grabs one, and they get the trade. John shouldn't be able to win this. And yeah, I think PRX continue to look pretty good here. Now, I know that the score is 13-10, so Sentinels are going to win the next 3 rounds in a row to win the map. And we'll see how they do that. Certainly the breach ult isn't going to hurt. Rest in peace, something. This is one of those rounds, actually, where the Cypher ult can now be a massive tool that you can build the round around. Where you can... So now that they're in a 5v4 situation, and they have the Cypher ult online as well, this is a round where Sentinels can decide to just spread back out around the map, and then John Cutie can use his Cypher ult later on this body, and they can use that to hit wherever the weak site is going to be. Because the defenders are going to have to spread out if you cut noise, and they're going to be more thinly spread, and you know, you can ult that body whenever you like. It doesn't have to be immediately. The Cypher ult is now so much better than it used to be. I don't know whether they're going to go for that, but it's certainly an option that presents itself in these kind of situations. They're going to use the Cypher ult to bait as if they've rotated all the way to A. So they're using the Cypher ult to fake, hoping that it pulls people away from B. So this is like mind games on mind games here. Instead of just actually using it for its info, they're using it as a fake. But they haven't really bitten. There's still 3 players here. That's just because Zeken's good at entering that they win that one. Forsaken, a lot of the time, should be able to get that kill. Oh my god, what a shot from Mind Freak. Ooh.
Just not gone the way of PRX.
Huge paranoia there. Oh, and something's under a lot of pressure. The combo of Zeken and Tens pushing off the initiator utility is way too much for him to deal with there. So this is the first time that we've seen Sentinels actually get into a position where they can go for their big A exec. All 5 people caught by that 0 point. They're going to go for a tiles flank for the retake, but they know that they're going to hit the trip. John Cutie's always going to have a trip here. So what is their game plan to deal with that? I don't see how PRX are getting value out of this. I mean, they know that it's going to be an A round, or they just break it. And they're trying to find a timing on Zelsis, on a timing on the exec, which they do, but now they've also opened the door behind. This is a great call. Great call by John Cutie to just leave and go to B, I think. Because you've killed the player that was playing behind to contain you. Oh, wow. And then they've called an audible off the back of that because Sassy heard them all running away. So they were going to pivot to B, and then Sassy hears them all running away, and they're like, fuck it, let's hit A. Dude, this team's mid-rounding is so good. 2023 Sentinels could never. They actually could never. The addition of John Cutie and Zelsis has just leveled this team up so utterly. John Quality Tactics. That's an amazing nickname. Who came up with that? Is that a Triceratops original, or is that from somebody else's stream? That's so good. Tens is playing KO. I've seen the stats already, and I know that he popped the fuck off. This is a really standard, like, old school composition. It doesn't really do anything new or different. On the other side of things, we've got the Jet Yoru comp, which is very good at being able to get past trips, get deep, explosive execs onto B in particular, actually. So let's have a look and see how these interact. On the defense side, we've got a pretty standard Viper wall coming out from Zelsis. A trip over towards B for Tens to anchor. This is the fucking thing again where Forsaken has a teleport, right? And then he jumps into the trip and teleports away. But he hasn't put down his teleporter? No? What in the dickens is he doing? Okay, so they're going to try and go for a mid to A.
They're doing a great job of keeping track of it. Making sure they know where he's at.
Tens just gets completely overwhelmed, caught out in the open. It's a tough position to play against an A split, that one. You kind of have to fight A main, I think. Because if you try and fight the people coming through double doors, you end up just getting pushed by the people at A main, and it's really difficult then to not get pinched from both sides. If you try and fight in front, aggressive, you can sometimes get a kill and then back, and still use the pyramids. Sassy was thinking about using recon, I think, over outside cave there. And here we go. Coming into A. Same kind of A split. They're worried about this Yoru. Tens is just ducked down as far as he can, trying to avoid the jumping judge. Forsaken probably gets fucked there by the nerf, actually, because he's done quite a lot of damage to Tens, but the jumping judge has been nerfed recently.
Does suffer some heavy damage, but now
So, better positioning and anticipation there from Zekken and Tens. They both back away to yellow. And Zelsis is farming in mid.
Sends out the snake bite, gets the vulnerable, puts him down low on HP, where Saucy can finish him off. Now it's just fun yet.
A good passive play from Zekken and Tens on A there. Just allowing them the entirety of the A site so that they can then group up together afterwards. I couldn't even tell how Forsaken used his utility there as he came out of the ult. Zekken tries to push up, but something's ready for it. Something is trying to get deep, but Tens had heard him. Got into a sneaky little spot. They got a lurk going on here, but I mean, they're still not going to be able to win 2v3, are they? Not unless Devi picks up a bunch here. Well, he gets one. Is that going to be enough? Oh my god.
Going for the reload. Devi, and lucky for him, does manage to dodge out on that operator. And double doors is being held. Going through, Flash
They fake the TP, and the clone goes into backside. Tens is a little worried. Pops the ultimate. That drops the wall. Something just goes for the swing, but Zekken is there for the trade. They have a paranoia and a flash to try to peek with here, and nobody's blind. Where does this flash even go? Oh, they do get blinded. He just peeks before the flash. PRX are tossing their bodies away. It's kind of sad to watch, actually, because I was really looking forward to watching this final and popping off about how good Sentinels looked. And I think they looked really good on map 1. But a lot of what I'm watching is PRX just having half-baked setups and having their execution be really wonky, probably because they haven't been practicing in the offseason and they're rotating their 6-person roster around, one of which is about to go into military service, for fuck's sake. So it feels a little limp at the end here, because I think Sentinels could have maybe won this game anyway, even if PRX have been playing well. So it just kind of feels a bit cheap that they didn't have to get past a really strong PRX. Not cheap, but like, I don't know. It would be better for them to show that they could... It's more impressive to beat a really good PRX 3-2 than 3-0 PRX when they're playing super sloppy like this. In my opinion, anyway. Maybe not in the eyes of the masses. Good movement by Zelsis to try and get around, but that timing was really nice. The double swing through pillars, clean. It's not like everything PRX are doing is bad. So this is one of the biggest strengths of their composition, is the ability to dive really deep and get a lot of pressure onto site anchors on B. See, just relax, guys. Just relax. Just again swinging way before any kind of flash utility. Please don't have Zekken win this round, man. He's got a great chance of winning it with the knives. Oh, he missed! Oh, fucking hell. PRX get away with that one. Going for the Sova ultimate to punish that and try and bail Zekken out. Sick idea. Devi didn't get caught by that 0 point, so he's still got a wall to play with. Here comes the wall. Oh, they always want to play aggressive, man. Devi always, like, he's got the wall up. They could be trying to get to better postman positions, and he's just trying to swing alone as well, I think. And now his wall's dropped, and he's just out in the open. He still gets a kill. But it's so... Something swings? Yeah. If he's getting mollied there, he's swinging every time to punish you. Forsaken's teleport takes him into ladder if this ult goes wrong. But... oh god. I like the idea there of comboing the Yoru ult and the Sova ult. We've seen a lot of that on Breeze. It's a good setup, but Forsaken was never getting out of that. alive unless he got the judge kill on Celsius. And Celsius played that really nicely.
Only gonna connect a little bit.
If Celsius pulls out any utility, he's dead. If Celsius shows his back to Forsaken, he's dead. If Celsius gets caught by the Sova ult, you know, multiple times, or even once probably, he's dead. But Forsaken's teleport was not out to a safe point, so he was always hard committed on that. Devi probably knows that John Cutie's still here, but I'm not sure he does 100%. He's pinged it though, he knows where the trip is. Or he's maybe pinging it to, oh, something should have hit that. Oh, John can win this. The player of planting is so weak. Oof.
Down to 4 HP. See no Sky in sight. Forsaken will be able to find one. Takes out Celsius 10.
Wow.
Gets Forsaken for the double kill. Looks to pop that no
Holy fuck, and that flash even landed.
Takes out something. Looks to take out my freaking
Good God. What a round from Tens. So, this is what I was talking about. When you get split and you're the A anchor, especially if you're a KO, I think it can often be better to try and go forwards and fight the players over towards A main. And that's what Tens does here. I think we'll see it in the replay. He runs forwards into the smoke, grabs the player, gets a second. Monyet's smoke honestly gives him a place to play around. Monyet's having a horrendous game though. Monyet has actually been having a pretty bad performance in all the matches that I've seen from PRX. I don't remember thinking, wow, Monyet's playing well at any point. But again, probably not his fault because they haven't been running him every map. They've been rotating him with Jing or Mindfreak or something.
Now trying to backpedal, sends down the fragment. Spots Monyet. The fragment kills off something. Tens again, kicking things off with a double kill. Pushes up into the pit, trying to find a vibe.
Tens using his nade on KO is enormous character growth. That's a great round anchoring in that back corner. Oh, the orb from Celsius gets so much value. Oh my god, Mindfreak. Oh! So looking at how they're playing over A main aggression here, they smoke it, they clone, they get dashed on, they die. Zekken's presumably dashing on this because he's noticed the way that they're playing A main or something? What a shot from Mindfreak. And Tens is playing aggressive through the wall as well. I don't like the idea of playing aggressive 1-by-1 like this. PRX are doing it a lot. Tens just did it as well. I guess Zekken kind of did it too, but Zekken's got knives. I mean, even when Zekken does it though, couldn't Zekken and Tens just sync something up? Where they flash through and updraft above and then double swing through the wall? It would look so much better. And the later they do it, the more chance they catch PRX retaking. Now, of course, PRX are not going to swing when they have Spike down in the open and die to Celsius.
Still going to be pushing forward.
Ooh, what a shot.
Trying to get the catch on him. Finds one. Can he get the clutch?
This is what I'm talking about, guys. It doesn't... I'm annoyed for Sentinels because this just isn't anywhere near as impressive when you're watching the decision-making that PRX are going for. It's just such a toss of a map. Dude, that's awful play from PRX. The spike is completely down. They can just play across and wait for people to move forwards, and they just decide to swing into Celsius and then swing into John. It's poo. But this is literally normal PRX decision-making. I don't understand. First of all, they do overheat a little bit. You're absolutely right in that. But normally, the timings that they pick make a lot more sense. Like, for example, they'll wait until... They'll do a little jiggle, and then they'll see that somebody's out in the open, and then they'll double swing them as they're, like, trying to get the spike or something. They're not just going to fucking rando double swing. There's normally some reasoning behind it. And as well, the coordination on the plays that they've been going for. Like, for example, they've been trying to flash peek back sight on the attack side. You remember the round where Monyet just swung, and it was so out of sync with the what's it called? Yoru flash too. Normally their coordination on the micro stuff is really solid, and it's just dreadful. The difference between a good PRX and a bad PRX, I don't know, maybe people just can't tell, but it's not just whether it works or whether it doesn't.
Second,
Oh yeah, I do only have a couple minutes left, but I think they got rolled on this map, didn't they?
Second will fall. Shot start from Sassi actually takes out
Yo.
Mid-Hunter's Sphere. Now Moniette gonna be dead. Something up on top of the Guardian in hand. Pushing through it, still proving to be very dangerous.
Oh. Oh. I like this pit. I don't think I've seen people do this pit very often, but this is a really nice one for just blocking this angle as well. It's really comfortable for the rest of your team to play post plants because they just play around that right side pyramid, and they don't have to worry about being peeked from double doors. It's time. Yeah, okay. I'll see you guys later then. Watch the tens flick. Okay, which round is the tens flick? The next round? All right, we'll watch the next round then. Okay, guys. We'll watch the hospital flick. You can't be telling me 10's highlight is on an anti-eco. Was it really this one? Anyone know if this guy will be on time for the show? I'm coming, Plat Chat podcast. I'm coming. Can we get some fucking faux scarfs in the chat? My employer's angry with me for watching the 10's flick. Okay, they're getting to be... Everybody on PRX is playing offside. They go for the Yoru ult. And he's trying to ult Zelsis. Dude, Forsaken's ultimates have been way over aggressive. Nice shot. What? Wait, what is that though? He's flicking off the Cypher ult. That's crazy, dude. 10's kills through smokes are ridiculous. How on earth does he just magnetize the Moniette's head through a smoke there? Through almost 2 smokes. He's cheating. He's actually cheating. Okay, I'm going to end my stream now. I'm going to go over to the Plat Chat podcast. Bye!